Hello everyone, your residential Swiss Reptile here, and welcome to a new World of Tanks first impression. And today we are doing it a little bit different than last time around. We're not going to play any live gameplay right now because this might drag out a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you two replays where we are going to go quickly through it and to show you some strengths and weaknesses and absolute shit show you are going to see during marathons. Before we go quickly into the Charlemagne, the new tier 8 British reward / heavy / premium tank, because it's a premium tank but it's like the Emil 1951, so I can't really buy it anymore. It's only available through certain means. So I've played now 10 games today, and to be honest, I'm not happy with the performance I had. 2100 DPG, 50% win rate. That's not good. It's genuinely not good. However, I think it is not the tank's fault, because the games we've lost were hard losses, and the games we won were most of the time hard wins. The amount of games today we've seen where we had 5-15 games in 5 minutes, frustrating. And you could ask Des games, and you could ask Heat Resistant BFG. I genuinely was losing my marbles and my shit. Like, I literally wanted to go to www.zahl-shop.de and get a rope to do some little bit strangulation action right there. Like, seriously, it is frustrating. It is genuinely frustrating because I was playing and I felt like this tank has potential. It is not OP. By God means it's not OP. It is maybe even a little bit underperforming, but it's genuinely a refreshing take on how to balance tanks. And that is why I'm so disappointed that you feel that this is a bond reward, something you can only really grind through in-game means, while the Skoda T56 is basically the second best tier 8 heavy tank in the game. And that's just frustrating. Quickly, let's break down the Charlemagne. It has a 440 alpha gun, it is a 120mm gun, low velocity gun, because yes, it is bad. Less than 600 meters per second, and this is the second thing which I really don't like about the Charlemagne. Base round, not decent penetration. It's not good, but it's decent. 600 meters per second. You cannot snipe with that. You cannot even hit certain weak spots with that because of wonk. We'll see that in the first game. While meanwhile, the premium round not only gives you 50 millimeters more penetration, nope, it also gets 327 more meters per second shell velocity. Almost a third. Well, not almost, a third more. That's stupid. It's genuinely stupid. It's bad tank design and it's bad gameplay design wargaming. So please, make the premium round something else. Maybe an APCR, maybe an heat round. Give the base round a little bit more oomph. I know it is a low velocity gun, but basically what you're telling your players at the moment wargaming is a double middle finger, and they should just low premium rounds to make less money to be actually usable for their team. Which is a little bit of a sad thing, because the Charlemagne doesn't really have anything going for it except for decent mobility, decent armor, and the 440 alpha. The DPM, as you can see with this setup and this crew, 13.5 seconds reload time. That's less than 2000 DPM. I do want to compare this real quickly to the Skoda T56. That's almost 400 base DPM less. Yet, the Skoda is a money tank, and this one is a bond tank, something you have to grind in-game usually, except through the Battle Pass you can theoretically also buy them. That's frustrating, because that thing feels a lot more balanced than the Skoda T56, if I have to be completely honest. And yes, I know, this one can use a rammer, while the Skoda can't. But newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to feel bad for using a turbo, you know? While on this tank, I basically have to boot the turbo. And another news flash, even with a rammer, even without anything to boost the DPM on this thing, like bond vents or something, or bounty vents, we still have more DPM. It's a testament of how bad really the tank balance is, in my opinion, at the moment. But yeah, the Charlemagne, seriously, it feels like a 440 alpha version of the T34 with better whole armor, but worse penetration and slightly worse DPM. And I'm all on board with that. The gun handling is bad. 0.39 accuracy right now and 3.1 second aim time. You will see how bad that is. Yet, the soft stats of the gun are pretty decent. We can go back to this picture right here and you will see 0.15, 0.15 and 0.08. Those are great values. Just the aim time is atrocious and so is the base accuracy. When we are now quickly going to look at the armor model, you can see that against standard rounds, it actually looks pretty decent, at least against the Skoda. 208mm of penetration, we have a pretty decent tank. Only underneath the gun mantlet and the cupola, you properly have weak spots. And if you go into a gun depression mode, well, you can see it will get a little bit harder for them to penetrate. Premium rounds, obviously lower plate is a huge point right there. The turret has some major weak spots. The gun mantle is not big enough. Also, just so you know, the lower plate isn't really the best weak spot. It's actually part of the upper plate, close to the lower plate, because the lower plate is 168mm. Side armor is only 70, so you have to be very careful how you're angling. The side of the turret is very, very, very weak. Again, this tank is pretty quick. It has good HP per ton ratio, sadly not that good top speed, and I cannot really use the field modification because it's unavailable for rental vehicles. Unlucky for us. But yeah, mobility-wise, it's good. It is small. Fuel range, 380 base, not that good. To be honest, it's really not that good. Giving this tank a little bit more fuel range would have been also nice. But that is the introduction to the tank. Let's move on to the games. So, we are on the Fjords map on, sadly enough, the losing spawn in a tier 10 game. So I guess you can already see where this is going. But here, just as a reminder, this tank is fairly small. And as you can see, we reach our 35 kph rather quickly. I am going to speed it up a little bit, because let's be honest, you all know where we are going. We're going to go into a hold down position where we are not going to have fun because the enemy team has a Krankenwagen. So now we're going back down to normal speed, and obviously the VZ55 is going to be just loads quicker than we are. So now we are in a pretty decent hold down position. I know against high tier tanks our armor is not that good, and obviously we are going to face against the Kranwagen. But now you will see the problem with the standard rounds. We are trying to go for his cupola. We have to wait for him to lose his ADHD fit. And yes, the problem with the AP rounds, with the base AP rounds, is they quite hard have this arch in them, the trajectory of the gun, and it makes hitting weak spots rather hard. It makes it insanely hard. So we have to quickly do a little bit of speed up, because let's be honest, you don't need to see me wait for 13.5 seconds to reload. We're trying to go for the cupola and we miss again, so we're going to speed up yet again, and we are finished with loading. And you can see the aim time is long, and the base accuracy is also less. This is less than 150 meters, and it's very, very bad. It's genuinely bad. But yeah, we are speeding up again because don't really need to see us load. And there's nothing really happening here. We're just trying to hit the cupola of the Kranwagen. By the way, can we please get your opinion in the chat of how much fun it is to play this bullshit? Like, don't be this guy. I understand that right now, especially during the marathon, the game is frustrating. But don't be a dickhead to just sell out your teammates. First things first. However, wargaming, it's generally frustrating to play World of Pixel Hunt. You know, if I want to play a Pixel Hunter game, I play a Pixel Hunter game. And not World of Tanks. Because in the Pixel Hunter game, I usually get rewarded for good aim. Not in World of Tanks. So yeah, it's generally frustrating. However, we do have to say, the VZ55, even though for it being completely overpowered, it has a big cupola. And the Charlemagne has also a pretty big cupola. And the Skoda T56 has also a big cupola. But yeah, the game at this point, you can see, look, 3 minutes in the game, or 3 minutes and 10 seconds, 1-6, game is over. We can already go next. We can try to do our best to somehow get some more damage in, but we are basically just repositioning us to try and hope that the TNH is doing a mistake, or the Kranwagen is doing a mistake, but yeah. I guess the T54E1 was like, oh, look at that, we have to push something. The thing is, the game is over at this point. We cannot do anything anymore. Like, Generally speaking, today was incredibly frustrating for me to stream. The last couple of days were incredibly frustrating for me to stream. It's generally not fun, because when you have people, for example, like the Löwe, which are just seeing, oh, we have no chance anyway, I'm going to, even at the slightest no chance, or going to drown, it's completely frustrating. I don't know what people are doing. I guess they all just want to spam games and think that this will help them get the Stridswagen K quicker. It's pure frustration. That's why I genuinely hate marathons, and I talk now to several other content creators and community contributors which said that they don't like to play during marathons either. And this is why. The quality of games is, nicely said, dog shit. You cannot say it any way else. However, the Kranwagen is doing a pretty decent peak right there for us. After the game, I did look at his stats, and I have to say he wasn't a good player. Might also explain his force shield around his weak spot. Jokes aside, it's just super frustrating. Even though they had a not good tier 10 tank, he was still able to do 2000 damage, which is probably for him enough. And the SCP-1 was the one which was carrying the game at this point. And it just shows how much big of an impact a tier 9 tank can have compared to a tier 8 tank in a tier 10 tank in a tier 10 matchmaking compared to a tier 8 tank. Like, we were trying to hit, like, you could argue whatever you want, but I would say we had pretty decent aim. Like, even here we were able to detrack him. We got a pretty decent shot right there. But now obviously we have to fight against this gold slinging Krankenwagen, which has 1300 or 1208, no, 1380 burst, or am I stupid now? It would be 1320 burst, I think it is. Whatever. Something in this direction. Should be though, I'm not sure. But yeah, he made 2 shots with his heat rounds. We decided to give him another round into his face, and we are now at 1700 damage, but obviously because we don't have any DPM, we basically have to try to pull back as much as possible. Just so you know, once was a lower plate shot, and the other one was up here. In that angle, he's shooting from above, below. It's just 130 millimeters. Effective around 270 or something, so yeah, we are dead right here. We have no chance of winning, and we are at 2100 damage, and game is over. Welcome to +-2 matchmaking. It's fun, isn't it, guys? Having no chance because you cannot even hit the weak spots. Yeah, that was the game. Needless to say, when you have 5 people with 0 damage, it's kind of tragic. 6, 7, 8, 9 people below 1000 damage, it's kind of tragic. Even though their team had also several people with below 1000 damage, but at least they didn't have 5 people with 0, you know. I don't know, it's super frustrating in that regard, and this is a reason why I generally don't enjoy +-2 matchmaking anymore. I couldn't really do anything else. I think nobody enjoys it, let's be honest. Like, I understand that Wargaming wants to give bad players, like, their power moments so they can rub their nipples, like in South Park. Oh, you are a lower tier tank. Oh, that's so tragic. Please tell me more. Oh no, you had a bad gaming experience. You know, like, the thing is, they already said it in one of their Q&As that basically the +-2 matchmaking is their way to give bad players an easy time. Imagine this in any other competitive worthy game. I know World of Tanks is not competitive because of RNG, but imagine something like this in a game like League of Legends or CSGO, where suddenly, if you are trash, you get better matchmaking or something. You were playing against equally skilled players in most of those games, or in those games, that's usually what the plan is, and you're not going to play against, and you're not going to get hand-fed an easy time, you know. So yeah, it was a very unfortunate game for us. You can see, you are useless in those types of games. I do think in a VIII 55 we might have been able to do a little bit more because the enemy has to fear us. Again, we have better DPM in the VZ 55, and we do have 920 burst, and we have better mobility. At least with the fact that we can easily take a turbocharger with us. And obviously with the fact that, well, you know, it can have field modifications. Speaking of which, the field modifications of the Charlemagne are not that interesting. However, let's move on to the second game. In the next game, we are on the map Pearl River, in once again a +-2 matchmaking, but this time we are the middle dog, so we are not that useless. And once again, you will notice, first things first, the size of this thing, and I sadly can't really show you because the replay is again broken. Let's be honest. Introduce a mechanic nobody asked for, AK field modifications to make the game even more unbalanced. Quality of life changes for replays. Introducing overpowered premiums. Quality of life changes for replays. You know what wargaming is going to do. Sorry for being this sarcastic, but it's actually genuinely frustrating to work with such a system when you want to make content of the game, because you could, like, for example, we are not even allowed to watch replays from a week ago because there was a micro patch breaking them. Anyway, rant aside, we were pretty decently fast right now compared to the other TNH. So we are going to this hold down position over there. We almost got surprised by this guy, so I guess in such a situation we should have had a turbocharger in general, especially with the mobility slot bonus. But now we are in a pretty decent situation right there. We do have another tier 9 heavy tank in our back, and we have the double shutter right here, and we obviously don't want to overpeak because it's very dangerous. They have 2 RDs and we still don't know where the majority of their forces are, and here they are. And this is what I mean. The gun handling with a stabilizer on close quarters is good enough. Like, even though the base accuracy is dog shit, and if you need to pixel snipe against World of Tanks' funny haha tanks you don't have a chance against, it's useless, obviously. But when you are actually finding a tank which resembles a little bit of balance when it comes to weak spot management, you actually can hit some pretty decent shots. Here, yeah, that is the thing about the turret. Oh, great, this replay system. Yeah, just with gold over here. He has like a 90% chance of penetrating there, even if you go hold down. So, and yeah, I was literally just looking at where I got penetrated, and RagingRaptor is too stupid to read the minimap because he didn't even see the VK behind us. Like, wait, what is he doing there? And because I reacted so slowly, I sadly enough gain another spicy high roll mania by the enemy in World of Yellow. So yeah, now we obviously have to retreat. We can't really do anything at the moment anymore. It's once again marathon time. People are YOLOing like, I don't know. Very unlucky shot here on the Tiger 1. I guess it's the only spot we can bounce because we bounced into the driver slot and somehow we didn't have enough penetration. Now we have a type 5 against a type 4 heavy against us, which is full HP. So we now have to reload premium rounds with the intuition skills around 3.3 seconds, and obviously he has a weak spot. We are not going to penetrate it because why should we? Yeah, we got very lucky right there that the Tiger 1 did manage to bounce us into our side. We are now on the premium round because I want to try to get the maximum out of us, and another nice bounce by the Tiger for not aiming properly. And well, you know, in such peekaboo situations, the Charlemagne is not bad, and this is why I'm so frustrated by the way this tank is being sold, because it is a perfectly balanced tank. And now we have this situation right there. Like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Welcome to World of Marathon, like, where nobody knows what they're doing. Luckily enough for us, we do have to reload on him, even though we have 440 alpha. And again, look at the size difference. Like, I guess some 30s would be like Hon right now, but look at this. I'm so small compared to him, and I'm a heavy tank. That's actually kind of funny with this thing, to be completely fair. And we got very lucky for him to not properly aim. I actually don't even know where he hit us. I guess it was the gun mantlet around here, which is super thick. Like, the gun mantlet is very thick. And now we have to reload on him. We just have to try to micromanage the positioning with the enemy heavies. And luckily enough, the T20 somehow penetrates him. Like, mad respect to this guy. And little overpeak over there to get the kill on the VZ44. And because finally Wargaming actually did a quality of life change in the regards of the soap rocks, hey, we're able to get out of here, and we have 3000 damage, which is pretty neat. And we still have 600 hit points left. However, as you can see, the game is basically over. 6-9, we are 5000 HP behind. Yeah, unlucky. Here, I do think I'm doing quite a big mistake by going over here. I should have just tried to go for the T29 and hope that I know how to make him bounce, but then again he was spamming premium rounds anyway. Here we have the premium rounds loaded because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to try and make that shot. Sadly enough, only hits his tracks, doing 0 damage, but detracking him at least. So yeah, now we are in a pickle right now. Pickle Rick would not be happy in that regard. And here I also make a tiny mistake right there. The Skoda T56 is showing himself and we start to drive backwards a little bit too early, making our aim kreis that much bigger, which results in us missing our shot. So yeah, now we are kind of stuck right here. I should have gone back here with the ISM to try and get the T29 to get out of the way, but I didn't expect it to see the Stridswagen S1. By the way, is it Stridswagen or is it Stridswagen? I actually, like, somebody wrote that something that I said it wrong with the Tornwagen, but I'm Swiss, I'm not Swedish, that's not the same, so I don't know how to properly pronounce it. But yeah, right now we are kind of stuck. We have to fight this guy, we have to fight the Stridswagen, and we have to fight the youuuu, and with that the game is over. Sadly enough, our S1 decided to go over here rather than staying up there. He could have gotten still some damage into those guys, especially the T29 and the T34, but game over. Welcome to World of Marathon Monkeys in that regard. So, replay wise, where are we? This, yeah, 3,500 damage. That is, to be honest, a pretty decent value. Like, we did loads. This is obviously the better replay. Yeah, sadly enough, we are the tank you can earn for free. We are not the tank who you have to pay money. And that is why we are basically in everything worse than what the Skoda T56 is, except for penetration. Yeah, Skoda T56 carried that game in the middle with 5,500 damage. I guess it wasn't that hard when you have basically need to do 5 clips with a decent mobility, good armor, and go on. And yeah, once again, we had lots of people doing 0 damage and 9 people doing less than 1,000 damage, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's frustrating. Because in and of itself, the tank, like, that is the thing which I so fucking hate at the moment. I genuinely like the Charlemagne. I cannot recommend it. First things first, 15,000 bonds, wargaming, are you absurd? Second, yes, I know you can get a 6,000 bond discount on it, but still that's 9,000 bonds, that's way too much. In my opinion, at least, for a tank which is not good. Like, the Patriot is so much better and it costs 8,000 bonds. Or any of the other tanks which you can now get, like the T103 is not good, the Zenlak is not good, but still you can get them for a discount. But the big thing is, I still enjoy the tank and I would like to see more tanks like it. Because, yes, the armor is strong. I'm pretty confident if I would have played against tier 6s in any of those 10 games, we could have done quite a lot, because the frontal armor is absurdly strong, especially against lower tiers. Then, if the marathon wouldn't have been and everybody's playing like smooth brains, we might have had more fun. But at the moment, you cannot make fun in this game. Like, seriously, the marathon is destroying the quality of game you can have right now. It's absurdly frustrating. And it really saps out my enjoyment for that game. Especially when you add stupid RNG bounces, stupid RNG aim, and you know you are the better player, yet you get still shafted by RNG just smacking you left and right and right and left. It's really absurdly frustrating. So yeah, first impression, more tanks like this. Make them for money. Stop introducing OP tanks like the Skoda T56. Seriously, this would have been such a good prim tank in 2017, not in 2021, and that's tragic. And yes, Wargaming, please consider giving it a better AP round, a space with more shell velocity. Yes, I know it's a low velocity gun. It's super frustrating, and maybe change the premium round to APCR or heat. or something, so it makes a little bit more sense not just to use premium rounds, it's better in every single way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed this take on the first impression, and don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for the proper review of the Charlemagne and the video about the ranked season. My name is RagingRaptor, I see you around, and good luck on the battlefield.